Okay. And welcome everyone again to Effective Networking Techniques. I am Lisa Andrews, Director of Integrated Career Development here at the School of Continuing Studies. So just to kind of go over briefly the importance of networking, really probably the primary importance of networking is to uncover or tap into that hidden job market. And if you haven't heard that term before, really the hidden job market is really jobs that have not yet been created, which hopefully if you meet the right person, you'll then be kind of tapped on the shoulder to occupy that job when it does in fact become open. So you just may meet the right person as you're networking. And if a job isn't available at the time when you're talking to the person about it, it may become available in 3, 6, even 12 months. So tapping into that hidden job market, really one of the primary purposes of networking. Of course, to advance in your career, again, you may meet the right person that can help you get to the next level. Also, really to build your knowledge base. So you may not really have any intentions of moving up or moving on in your career, but you want to network because you want to build on your own knowledge base and learn more about your current field, and really just advance what you already know. Or to get assistance with your current position challenges. So if you're kind of stuck and you just don't know how to solve a problem that's emerged in your own position, networking with colleagues outside of your own organization can really kind of get you over that hump. Also, a great reason for networking is to find a mentor. And I think a mentor is really important in the business world, no matter what field you're in. Can help you really advance in your career and just kind of keep you on the right track to make sure that your career goes in the trajectory that you really want it to go in. And last, it creates partnerships now and in the future. And really, most fields are kind of small towns, as we like to say, and that have lots of bridges that you don't want to burn. So you want to really constantly create those partnerships now and in the future. Because you never know when you'll have to call on someone for a favor, or they may become your either boss or your underling in the future. So it's important to continuously create those partnerships. Now, I know some of you out there have a fear of networking, just like that fear of public speaking that I know a lot of us have. Even myself, I am a regular public speaker, but I have a terrible stage fright problem before this presentation. My heart races. I get very anxious. I have to kind of talk myself down. But once that record button turns on, once I start the meeting, once I step on that stage, I did theater growing up, the fear kind of goes away. And, it just kind of dissipates. But there are really kind of fears of networking, fear of kind of putting yourself out there. So I want to kind of go over some of those fears and really kind of how to get over them. Because truly networking is really an essential part of job searching. I went to kind of a train the coach session not too long ago where the trainer said job searching is really 70% networking and 30% sending out applications. So that was a pretty stark number. And at first, my eyebrows were arched. But as I thought about it more, I really thought among the clients that I work with, it certainly is true. So all of us need to be networking if we're job searching. And so we do need to get over these common fears. And really the first one is that you see it as being pushy or it has a negative connotation. And to really overcome this fear or this negative connotation is to think about what you really have to offer them, and to think of the value add that you can bring to their organization. And I'll kind of go over this a little bit later in the presentation in terms of the research you need to do to create that value add and to know what it is you can offer them. The second one is that you have imposter syndrome. And I know I have had imposter syndrome Probably for most of my adult life and most of my professional life. And if you don't know what imposter syndrome is, it's kind of this feeling of, that you're putting yourself out there, or you are kind of this professional person, but there's this kind of fear in the back of your mind that someone's going to like push the curtain aside and expose you as an imposter, that you really don't know what the heck you're talking about, and that you don't really have the knowledge that you're purporting that you actually have, and that you're going to be exposed as this imposter. And it is an irrational fear that most professionals have, both in the academic world and in the professional world. So for an example from my own life is when I was pursuing my doctorate, the sort of overarching irrational fear is that no matter how many A's I got doing my doctorate and how much I studied and how prepared I felt for my comprehensive exams, I always had this underlying fear that my professors were going to say to me, Lisa, you're really not appropriate for this program. You're really not going to pass your exams. You're really not going to get through this program. You're a fraud. And really, of course, we all know that's not true. To overcome imposter syndrome, you can bring a friend with you to kind of lend you that support and comfort to know that you truly do belong in the room. You truly are worthy of talking with the person that you're talking with. And also know that over 80% of adults have felt this way and that you're not alone. So truly, this is a very common feeling among professionals in the business world. So just knowing that you're not alone can really help you kind of overcome this truly irrational fear. And knowing that it is irrational can also make you realize that it's something that can be overcome as well. Another is that you're kind of afraid of the process, or you think it's kind of a waste of time or too much work, or that you're just not really willing to put in the work, that it's overwhelming, that you not maybe aren't prepared enough, or that you fear rejection, that you kind of look dumb to the person you're networking with. And it's not that these kind of fears are irrational. They're certainly valid. But again, really, you want to think about networking as providing value to others. And, by doing your research and acknowledging the importance of networking and realizing that most people have truly felt the way that you're feeling in this situation. And that if you do a little bit of research and a little bit of homework and acknowledge that networking truly is a really important part of the job search, you can definitely overcome these fears. Okay, so I want you to get your phones out and scan this QR code up in the upper left corner here. And I want you to enter your favorite flavor of ice cream. Hopefully this will work. Okay, I'm seeing some answers pop up. Mine is mint chocolate chip. I see coffee. That's probably my second favorite. Cookies and cream. I see 2 of those. Vanilla, chocolate chip. Yum. 2 cookies and cream. Okay. I also like all of these flavors, by the way. Great. Okay. Excellent. Chocolate chip. Very good. Ooh, blueberry pie. Wow, that's an exotic flavor. I love it. Great. Just a few more seconds to enter those choices. All right. Well, thank you for participating in that quick little poll. Really, the last kind of fear of networking is stranger danger. And the purpose of that little fun and lighthearted exercise is that we have more in common than not. A stranger is only a person you haven't met yet. So the purpose of that exercise was to show you that everyone has a favorite flavor of ice cream, right? So even if they're not the same, although two of you had cookies and cream as a favorite flavor, that could be an icebreaker. Hey, what's your favorite flavor of ice cream? And so we do have more in common than not. So again, a stranger is just a person you haven't met yet. So really kind of the definition of networking is building personal relationships, and it is a two-way street with influential individuals to positively impact career development. So it's a very sort of academic and esoteric definition of networking. And, who are these people? And really they're your peers, your family, your friends. For those of you who think, well, I don't really have a network. Maybe some of you are international students, you're new to the country. I don't really have a network. Yes, you do. And that is your immediate circle. So think of it as sort of concentric circles. Could be your colleagues, could be your classmates, could be your current supervisors, your faculty are most definitely your part of your network. And our faculty are especially connected to industry, so they are most definitely part of your network. Alumni of Georgetown are especially connected, so they are most definitely part of your network. And then, of course, everyone they know. I can remember a very long time ago, there was a commercial for a shampoo. And this shampoo is no longer even sold, I don't think. So I won't even mention it because it was a very long time ago. But the commercial went like this. Lisa used such and such shampoo, and then she told two friends. And then they told two friends, and then they told two friends, and then they told two friends. And pretty soon, everyone was using such and such shampoo. And the commercial showed this sort of Zoom screen, with all these little squares of everyone that was using this shampoo. And I think of networking very much like that. So if you tell two friends what you're looking for, let's say a position in data analytics, and they tell two of their friends, and then they tell two of their friends. And the point here is you have to start talking to people about what it is that you want. And they keep telling people, eventually that word is going to get back to you as to, oh yeah, I know someone who knows someone who's looking for someone in data analytics. Can they get in touch with you? So that's really how networking works, is that sort of net of or web of connections. And it really starts close to you with that immediate family and friends. It could be even a yoga instructor whose husband or wife works in data analytics. You would be surprised. You're the person who bags your groceries. The point is you have to start talking, because you never really know who you're going to talk to that actually knows someone who is a person that could be a resource for someone you can talk to. And so these are what I call warm contacts, okay? So alumni and class networks, faculty, staff, student organizations, employer presentations that I hope to be putting on in the coming months, information sessions, panel discussions, the presenters, those all become part of your networks. Online research, such as LinkedIn alumni searches, okay? Social groups, your churches, your synagogues, your Lions clubs, your Rotary clubs, your Toastmasters, your meetup groups, your hiking clubs, your yoga class, anywhere you meet people are your networks. In addition, your professional associations, these are huge because there you're meeting people from your field, from your organization. But what networking is not, is it's not selling yourself, it's not asking for a job, and it's really not all about you. But what networking is about is kind of the intersection between your interests and needs and their interests and needs. Remember, it's this two-way street. So the intersection of that is where those connections are made. Remember, it's really a two-way a relationship is a two-way street. It's really that 50-50. And it's where the two intersect that you make that connection. So the key to networking is truly being genuinely interested in the other person and making a connection. And I want to point out kind of a theoretical framework for networking, and this comes from Making Your Contacts Count. That's a resource that's out there, and it's the first part of it is called Give More. So the M stands for methods. How can I make life easier for my contacts? So what information can I provide to them that can help them get my information out? The O is opportunities. How can I alert people to an opportunity? So again, I have to be a resource as well. So the information flow has to go through me as well as me providing information flow out. Resources, can I offer someone or something? So again, I do an exercise when I'm in person with Post-it notes. So let's say I'm looking for an Italian restaurant in DC. So that's what I'm looking for. But what can I offer? Well, I can offer a contact at XM Radio, okay? So it's that give-get. And then enthusiasm. Are you excited about something? You know, what can you truly offer? Remember, it's that give and then get. So get real, results. What outcome do I want? Expertise. What do I want to learn more about? Remember I said, going back to networking, you want to you're gathering information as well. Remember, it's not asking for a job. A, access. Who or what do I need to find? And L, leads. Who do I need to meet? So it's really more about those leads than it is actually asking for a job. Because again, remember, you're trying to seek that hidden job market. Okay, so remember to add virtual panels as a part of your networking campaign. So for example, if you attend one networking panel, remember to reach out to at least one of the panelists. And then also don't forget the attendees, because they're all there with the same interests, and you never know if they might have a potential contact as well. So reach out to at least two other attendees as well. So you don't want to just be a passive observer in these virtual panels that you go to. Be an active participant and treat them as a networking campaign for yourself. So when you're networking virtually, just some quick tips here. Make sure you have good, clear video and audio. Avoid that half face, so make sure that you're eye to eye with your camera and that you have some good lighting. And this is just lighthearted from The Princess Bride. I don't know if you have all seen that movie, but the famous line, "Hello, my name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die." So this is Inigo's guide to networking success. You have your polite greeting, your name, your relevant personal link, and you're managing expectations. So just a very sort of, again, lighthearted way to regard networking. So now I did want to touch on elevator pitch, because really, once you do meet someone, you want to start out with your elevator pitch. So, and there are many situations where you will use an elevator pitch, and it could be a professional meeting, it could be a social gathering, could be a video meeting, most definitely during an interview, could be a webinar, a virtual meeting, or an online community. And really, in 30 seconds or less, you really have to have them convinced that you, A, have something valuable to offer, B, intrigue them to want to know more about you, C, invite them to discuss information further, D, explore specific assistance in achieving mutual goals, and E, initiate or develop the relationship. So you want to kind of keep it flexible. Read the room, consider the situation, the environment, using appropriate jargon, make it conversational. So you don't want to really memorize your elevator pitch. Use energy and enthusiasm, make it authentic, personable, yet professional. Remember, and I know for those of you who have attended other webinars this spring, employers are hiring for qualifications, motivation, and fit. So you really want your elevator pitch to reflect these three elements. So when you're structuring your pitch, you of course want to start with your name, then your field or specialty qualifications, your uniqueness, which includes qualification and motivation, your benefit to them, motivation and fit, and an invitation or call to action. Always want to end with that, which is fit. So let's break it down. So they need to remember your name. And especially for those of you who may have a bit of a more difficult name to remember, you don't want to rush it, make it easy to pronounce, especially if you're not carrying a calling card or a business card. You may want to repeat it, make it memorable. So, I have some silly examples here. My name is Forrest Gump, or I'm Panda Bear, like Panda Bear. So you want to, of course, make sure they will remember it. You want to also help them remember your field, your major, depending on where you are, your specialty, what you have done recently, your career goals. So for example, I'm studying data analytics. In the past, my focus has been data security. Now I want to focus on project management, okay? Or my current major is accounting. I'd like to specialize in forensic accounting, working within an accounting department at a mid-sized company. Just a couple of examples here to get the conversation going. Also, they need to remember your uniqueness. How does your background influence your work? What is the driving force for your career? What sets you apart from others in your field? Remember the acronym EAT: expertise, authority, and trustworthiness. So for example, I designed and completed a comprehensive services and procedure database for a tri-county area. Or I just learned that my research on emerging markets is going to be published. Or I've recently been asked to take on more responsibility in my position. So again, kind of set yourself apart. And then they need to remember a benefit to them. So kind of this call to action. How can you help the other person? So for example, and this is what I'm going back to from earlier in the slides, again, how can you benefit them? This is that networking relationship you're creating, the benefit to them. I can assist with coordinating all the services and resources, saving time and money. Or my expertise in marketing strategies can help save your department 20% over the next quarter. Or in my most recent position, I spearheaded a sustainable composting program for a rural community, and it was very well received. So again, all these sort of results-oriented benefits. And lastly, an invitation. So something that you want to learn about them and keep the conversation and make the ask. So for example, what resources have you found to be most helpful to your business? So keep the conversation going, throw it back into their court. What's keeping you busy these days? Or where do you think the stock market will go in the next quarter? Maybe not the best question to ask in these times. And then the ask. I think I can be an asset to your department because of my educational background and experience in forensic accounting. So that just kind of wraps up the elevator pitch. So remembering that qualifications, motivation, and fit, and kind of putting it all together. So in summary, remember, no one is really a stranger. Networking is a give and take relationship. You really do already have a network to draw from. Have a strong elevator pitch and put yourself out there. As Nike said, just do it. So I want to remind you of the lifetime career services that are available to you. I offer one-on-one coaching. So if you're going to find yourself in a networking situation and you want a little confidence boost, I can help with that. The workshops like you're participating in right now, I have one more available called the 2-Hour Job Search. I'll be teaching a job search technique that will help you. You have access to Handshake, which is a curated online jobs database that you can create a profile and have access to job listings. And I'll be hosting some employer events that will be coming up. So wanted to inform you of those services as well. Also encourage you to connect with us on social media, both Twitter and Instagram. I've got some reels up there right now that are kind of funny, so you can check those out as well if you want to snap a picture of this page. Give you a second to do that. And lastly, if you want to make an appointment with me, you can snap a picture of this and I can put it in the chat when I stop sharing. It's calendly.com/LA851 or email me at la851@georgetown.edu. And now I'll stop sharing and end our recording. We can move to, let's see. You can figure out how to stop the recording.